41 male, married to 30 female, who told a mutual friend she regrets our marriage. I'll try and keep this short. I didn't. My wife and I have been married 7 years, 8 in May. We have 2 young children and there have been ups and downs. I have always suspected that she was never full committed, however, she was the one that proposed to me. Lately, and over the last 3 years we have had some near misses for separation. She always has a list of things she feels we need to work on. Most of the list is geared directly towards me and things I need to change. I always add things I feel she needs to work on as well because it's a two-way street. Lately she has been colder than a freezer with regards to intimacy. Anyways, I recently found out from a mutual friend that she is no longer romantically attracted to me. She loves me but like she loves her friends. She also told the friend that she regrets marrying me and wishes she said no when we had our wedding, ouch, but I'll recover. She said she was afraid she wouldn't meet anyone and be alone, so when I came along she settled, ouch again. We don't really fight that often. I generally try and diffuse fights before they happen and I don't raise my voice. I am fairly easygoing. She has a hard time relaxing. After I found this info out I feel like our entire relationship was a lie. We also renewed our vows at the 5-year mark and I am confused. Why would she make those plans if she wanted to say no the first time? She was the one that pushed for the vow renewal. So gut tells me to end the relationship and move on. The problem is my heart is in love with this woman and it's telling me to stay, work and see what happens. I told her last weekend that she needs to work on her lack of intimacy, if not I am gone. She got defensive. I feel like I have to break my heart and move on. I am worried about losing time with my children and also seeing her move on. Your opinion? Should I follow my gut or my heart? Thanks for the read and advice. A marriage counselor seems like a good place to start. At 22 she had no idea who she was or what she wanted. You were 11 years older than her and more settled in life. Now she's had years to grow up and mature, and she's still younger than you were when you got together. She doesn't want to be with you anymore. This is one of many reasons age gap relationships are a terrible idea. So you got married when she was 22 and you were in your 30s and you're wondering why she regrets it? She probably passed up many opportunities at her age for the sake of the relationship and feels like she missed out on her youth. She's still young and has her whole life ahead of her, but there is something romantic and nostalgic about discovering yourself in your early 20s. Why were you dating someone so much younger? Of course she does. She got married at 22 lol. If it is not breaking your friend's confidence, let your wife know that you are aware of her feelings and what she said. Tell her you are interested in saving the marriage if you still are, but also put requirements in place to stay. Do not stay in a loveless marriage just for the kids. Let her know separation or divorce is possible if this cannot be fixed. Start preparing yourself for the possibility of separation. Immediately separate your finances into an account that only you have access. Cancel all joint credit cards. Lock your credit to prevent anything from being opened in your name. Also secure all important papers, driver's license, passports, birth certificates, etc. Hope you can work out. Best wishes. Edit. Spelling. She always has a list of things she feels we need to work on. Most of the list is geared directly towards me and things I need to change. I always add things I feel she needs to work on as well because it's a two-way street. You don't say much here but it doesn't sound like you listen to what she's saying so much as mount a defense. It's okay for you to have stuff you're not happy about too, but if she's raising issues, you need to focus on those issues. Do your stuff another time. It's not a competition. She was very, very young when you got together. That's a recipe for all sorts of problems. Not least, you're failing to listen to her. If you want this to work, you need to listen. With your defenses down. I mean, counseling is never a bad idea, but based on what you've said she's already left. She probably told the mutual friend these things because she figured it would get back to you and convince you to initiate divorce. You didn't become what she wanted you to be. She did the vow renewal and possibly the original marriage, and the kids, hoping it would make her feel like she wanted to about you, but it didn't change anything. The list of issues just keeps getting longer instead of shorter. She can't relax around you. She regrets the relationship and feels trapped. She doesn't want to be intimate with you. Just let her go. I 100% think this calls for counseling. When a relationship gets to this point, it's hard to understand what the other person actually needs or wants. It seems like she doesn't even really know what her own feelings are. It might be some simple things like the way that you communicate together doesn't work for her and it's built up over time. This happened to me and I thought I had fallen out of love, but after a few months of counseling things turned around completely. This is just my take on it, but I think you both owe it to yourselves to try with a professional, someone good. If it doesn't work, keep looking until you do find someone, and give it a go. By the way, the Gottman method is great, so if you do go that route, I'd recommend finding a therapist who is certified in that method. What is there to work on? If she thinks your whole relationship was a mistake, then that is all there really is to know. You both should just accept it and move on. I'm 64F. I am going to give you my advice, based on one failed marriage and one successful marriage. Stop talking at each other. Stop listening to the opinions of others. Go to couples marriage counseling, real licensed counseling, not some religious shit, and start digging deep into your relationship issues. I'm just going to say it, outright, that your 11-year age difference may be rearing its ugly head and could be part of her questioning the relationship. In any case, you both need to get it all out on the table and totally commit to this relationship, including sexual intimacy, or give it up. Don't spend any more time trying to make it work, if she won't do the same. Good luck. I am sorry to say counseling is not likely to fix this. I get you love her, but she isn't happy and it doesn't sound like you are either. Just tell her it is over and you should begin to amicably end your marriage. Intimacy? Are we talking sex? Women can't just have intimacy when our relationships are bad, and to threaten that you will leave if not, then that makes it even worse. Date your wife again. So many marriages end because they forget to date each other. Show her and let her know she's loved and work on her list, and trust me, she will. Either one. Too little too late and done, or two. She will decide to stay. What have you got to lose at this point? You really should address to her that she proposed to you. She is the one who said at the wedding she wished she called it off. She is the one running around telling friends before she tells you, and she is the one that can't relax. I'm not saying be mean, but the handful of things make it seem like she creates her own problems and doesn't know when to just live in the moment, and like she really should be called out. All of this sounds like a her problem, not a you problem. She got married too young, and for the wrong reasons, and has outgrown you. It is what it is. I think once you are divorced and have distance between you, she'll realize what a good husband you were. And by then you will have moved on. Hopefully to someone who appreciates you and is hot for you. She just wasn't ready to be married. MC may salvage this marriage, but the reality is that she isn't interested, and a marriage is only as strong as its weakest vow. Have the self-respect to do what she doesn't have the guts to do. Cut her loose and move on to better things. I bet you can find someone else who can make you a whole lot happier than she does. And get yourself into individual therapy. You're a good man, but I suspect you still have a lot to learn. I hope you leave so she can have a chance to date people her age. You got with her while she was young. She never fully got the chance to learn what love is or who she was. Now at 30, she's figuring it out. I mean, if you married her at 22, you probably met at 21st, and for you to be 30 at that time, you were nowhere near where she was in life. Dude, you married a 22 years old woman. Try to think at what point in life you were when 22 years old. Telling her she has to sleep with you or you leave her is an aggressive approach to fixing your issues. Sounds like she's been trying to make it work for years and you're the one giving up here. I'm sorry you are going through this. Sometimes what people say to others may not be entirely true. Who hasn't said something derogatory about their significant other that they've been with for years to others? Maybe they're true and maybe they're just how she felt in that moment. If and when you walk out the door, no doubt that's when you will see exactly how she feels. Good luck. She needs to work on her lack of intimacy. If you focus on fixing the other problems, the sex will come back. It's hard to fuck someone you're really upset with or disgusted by. Sounds like this relationship has been hanging on by a thread forever. Not sure why you suddenly expect things to change. Who renews their vows at 5 years? I can't get past that. It's like doubling down on something that's not working. The equivalent of posting on Facebook that you're starting a diet just to keep yourself accountable. Your wife doesn't love you like she loves her friends. She loves you like you're the guy who takes care of things she doesn't want to deal with. You could try MC. That may enable you two to have a more open communication, because right now, it seems like she isn't listening to what you have to say. This may not fix your marriage, but it might clarify what your issues are. The fact she's saying these things to a friend indicate that she's already checked out emotionally and is just staying with you for the benefit of stability. Always follow your gut. My biggest regret is not following mine. The worst thing is looking back and kicking yourself for ignoring your instincts. I would end the marriage. She's already clocked out and isn't romantically interested in you. If her feelings are cemented like that, no counseling will change that. She was 22, you were 33. You never thought that was gonna be a problem? She was 22 when you guys got married? I honestly think that's the problem right there. Really sorry for you, though. I have many friends like your wife. It amazes me how daft men can be when it comes to the feelings of their women and how foolish women think that keeping their feelings private from their man is a good idea. To fix this, you simply have to be the man that she wants you to be, regardless of what comes out of her mouth. You have to pay attention and be that guy, every day. The question is, do you want that? If you wanted that, then why haven't you been doing it? The easy route is to pick something who likes you the way you are. That way you can be just you. It's kind of late for that now. She's here. Despite her unhappiness, she's doing her part to make it work. It would be really unfair to make the decision by yourself. Go talk to your wife. Your heart. Don't settle with less than love. She doesn't loves you. Why waste more time on a one-side relationship? Just let her go. Find a fine girl that respects and loves you. Are you sure the friend is telling you the truth and not just being a saboteur? Well, yeah, you preyed on a 22-year-old. Not surprised she has a lot of regrets. Not sure if what I'm about to say has been said by others, but if you've been married for 8 years and she's only 30, this means that she was 22 at the time of marriage, meaning she was so young at the time and she might be feeling like she missed out on her youth, her fault for rushing, not yours. And if she's so opposed to seeing a counselor, maybe taking some time apart to reflect on the marriage is a good idea. Then see if after you still want to continue in the union. And in case you decide to go your separate ways, in the words of Wendy Williams, you're very good looking, you'll find another. My best advice for you honestly is to start romantically pursue her again and light a spark in your relationship. She proposed to you. This time, it's your turn. So what if she's not attracted to you anymore? You just gotta try for yourself, since you say you love her, and for your 2 kids. This one is tough because it sounds so much like my marriage, and I'm also at the point where I don't know what to do, so can't really give any suggestions. But prepare yourself emotionally for the possibility of separation in the future and don't threaten her with more intimacy or I'm out. It is so unromantic and entitled. For me, it's such a turnoff. Can you imagine saying that to someone you just started dating? If the issues that make her lose attraction to you or pretend to lose attraction to you aren't solved, threats or ultimatums like that only make things worse, because it's like saying, "Id gaff how you feel, the only thing I want from you is some ass. I'm the husband, so I deserve some intimacy." Your mutual friend is an asshole for telling you sad face. She may have pushed the vow renewal for herself, to try to spark a relationship she felt dead in. A last-ditch effort, if you will. Try not to take it personally, I know, easier said than done. Sometimes 2 people were compatible once but no longer. I hope you guys seek out marriage counseling and try to fix things. I have been there. I'm finalizing my divorce this summer. We are going to co-parent. She always wanted me to change for her, but she didn't want to change for me. We have had separated 4 or 5 times. So speaking from my experience, I say keep kids as close as possible. Cut her loose but keep her on good terms as parents and protect both your and her parental rights. What things did she ask you to change? What things did you ask her to change? You already figured it out. End the relationship, man. She literally said she doesn't love you anymore. It's a big decision you have to make. But it seems like she's fallen out of love with you. As painful as that might feel or be to you, just know that it happens. Set up a good parenting plan for the kids. Count your blessings and cut your losses and move on. This last step is much easier said than done, but just remember those 3 things as part of the last step. Damn. She is literally the exact person I wrote my book for. Unfortunately, if she settled and knows that, marriage counseling won't do much. A lot of people settle because they would rather be unhappy with someone than be alone, and it sounds like that is exactly what she did. That does not mean you're a bad person. She just happened to have unintentionally hurt you because of her own insecurities. I think it would be best to separate. Things will only get worse, and your children will be the ones to suffer most. You deserve to be with someone who loves you for all that you are, and she deserves to be with someone more her type out of desire and not fear. I wish you the best. You guys seem to be talking at each other and not with each other. I know she said marriage counseling isn't an option, but it needs to be. That's the best chance you have to save your marriage. I am 30 and got married at 22. A lot has changed for me as a person. That could be just it, she's changed. Also, your ultimatum isn't going to help the situation. I get that it's important to you, but telling her you need intimacy or you're out isn't going to help the situation. You saying that probably just made the situation worse. Marriage counseling needs to be your next step or else it won't work. Get a counselor. But I was in a similar situation after 20 years of marriage, communication, intimacy, etc. We ended up divorcing and I am in a much better place now than while married. Happier. Wow. Actions speak louder than words. You already know, but I will spell it out for you. Your marriage is over. She doesn't love you, you are convenient. She goes through some actions in the hope that these might reaffirm the marriage. It won't. You are torturing yourself thinking you can rekindle the flame, but she has already checked out, and is not coming back. She might hang around, for security reasons, or to try and spare your pain, but it won't work. You need to move on. Honestly, believe me, there is a person out there, whom you haven't met yet, that is waiting to meet you, and rock her world. She will be the love of your life, and give you what you deserve. Until you break from your existing unrelationship, you will only keep your true love waiting. This situation, lad, even if in a relationship as both ends, you heart, mind and soul is always on first. I know you feelings, it's hard to let go of what we fear to lose, but you have to train yourself. Choose what is best for you and your mental health. If you think that you can make it through, fight with all you heart and wit, go get her back, because in the end, you can do it. A man has a power to make every woman fall for him, if you find the right way. If you think it'll only do damage to you and kids, notice if it's a better option to leave the relationship. I don't know if my advice can be of help, but I wish you the best. I can only show you the door, you have to walk through it. She's like a female version of me. Full of shit. Man, she lying. If she told a friend and didn't tell you, you ain't trustworthy toward each other in the first place. I'm sorry, my Reddit friend. Thank you for sharing your story with us. We all deserve to feel the love we give. Yes, you need to break your heart and move on. I'm sorry. My ex-husband was like her, more and more distant and unfeeling towards me as time went on. He told me to my face he felt like he settled. It was both a punch in the gut and yet it made so much sense as to why it seemed like he almost resented me. When I told some friends, they were like, no, he couldn't have meant it. And I was like, okay, so he just said it to be hurtful. Either way, I was out. I never regretted it. Don't listen to the therapy and counseling crowd. I bet those were in her list, right? Truth is, this relationship has been over for a long time, but you just didn't know it. It's near impossible to get attraction back when it's gone. You could try to become famous or very rich. If you stick it out with her, the resentments will only build and build. Maybe find out what she finds attractive in men, and ask yourself if there are things among this you would like to see in yourself. For example, maybe she does like a little friction here and there instead of having it easy going, and maybe you don't really like saying yes when you actually don't feel like it.